Okay, I lied.
Yeah. And my wife is literally putting my 3-year-old son to bed right now as we speak. And he is outside my door protesting because he wants to come in and see what we're doing. That's what's happening right now on this live. You can probably hear him in the background crying. He's not kidnapped. He's our son. There's not some secret underground operation going on over here that we're going to get busted. No, it's legitimate. He's trying to, it's his bedtime at 8:00 and he's protesting because he desperately wants to come. He heard Jazz 1 was going to be on with me tonight on this live. You can hear Jazz 1 laughing. That's a good segue. This is our first unofficial Thunderpop Extra. It's also the preseason to our season 6. I guess it's season 5.5. But anyway, here we are trying to do this for real, kind of, on tonight on Facebook and YouTube. I'm Stephen Presley, as you can see at the top. My name's up there. And then joining me tonight in the Thunderpop Dome, the man that named the dome himself. I bring you Jazz 1, if I can find him. There he is.
Hey.
And we're going to white it out there a little bit. And Jazz 1 in the Thunderpop Dome, brought to you by this live stream via, they used to say via satellite on TV, but live stream into the Thunderpop Dome. Little applause there. Yeah. So a little weird. It's different being live for me. We had so many, I think, things that we took for granted when we were just doing it audio to a SD card in a little recorder, and it wasn't live because we could literally say, "Oh, I got to sneeze real quick. Let me pause this. I'm gonna go over here and have a sneeze attack." Or one of us had to go to the potty. We could pause everything and could run to the potty. Or if we wanted to be really transparent, we could just keep the recording going and take our mic into the bathroom, and then we could keep doing the podcast from the toilet and hear a nice flush and an echo of the sound of the toilet, which happened on one episode, by the way. We did have a man on a toilet that I actually interviewed a man sitting on his toilet, but that's a whole other, and I digress, as they say. But anyway, Jazz 1 joining me for this first live stream Thunderpop Extra for this new season. And not the first time we've live streamed before, because we did a couple of years ago, we did a Star Wars Day where we simulcasted a Star Wars Day show to Facebook and I think YouTube and maybe Instagram. But that was before we had this fancy software. So I was doing I had a phone, an iPad, I had my computer open, and I had each one on a different social media platform doing the stream, and it was a little wonky, but we made it through there. You and Johnny Lightfoot that was joining me on that wonderful day, that wonderful Star Wars Day. So we got some people already in the chat. Tester, my buddy over on YouTube, he said he was still waiting. Did we get in? Oh, he said, LOL. I have my tablet. Oh, here he is. LOL. I have a tablet next to me watching the debate and your stream on my phone. Oh, we're part of his. That's what we like to hear. And some people, I know a lot of people are watching the debate. We expected to have a light crowd because some people might watch the debate. You can come back and watch this rebroadcast later, or you can do like my friend over on YouTube, and you can have us both going. So you can kind of compare the vice presidential debate to our content and see where the least repulsive dialogue is going on. We'll see. But anyway, here we are with Jazz 1. We're going to talk Mandalorian.
Oh, before we go on, talking about the debates.
Yeah, I
am sure SNL is going to be fire this Saturday with these debates.
Oh yeah. So much content for them this time of year. So much content.
Get most of my news from SNL.
Pretty much.
Weekend update.
It's an easier way to digest the news of the day, I think, for me, is to have a little comedy infused into it.
Exactly.
try to lighten it up a little bit. Oh, by the way, that's what a good segue, because we're going to do a Thunder Take, and our Thunder Take is related to SNL. And this, and you didn't even know that. I don't think I had mentioned it to you in the pre, because I had lost the show notes before we started, so I just kind of winged it and forgot to tell you a little bit of information that we're going to actually got to ask you a little question about SNL and the Thunder Take. So, my question for you: the musical guest that was scheduled for this week's SNL, the episode 2 for the new season. They're back in the studio, by the way, after several months hiatus from being in studio. They were doing a lot of shows on like a Zoom last spring after the pandemic started. Well, Morgan Wallen, his country and western singer who I'd never heard of, he was scheduled to be the musical guest this weekend on SNL, and he has now been pulled from the schedule because he was seen on social media. Boy, social media, you can't get away with anything nowadays because of social media. It's not like, but just think of all the things celebrities used to do that they got away with pre-internet days. Like back in the day, the things we don't know that happened. I mean, the National Enquirer got some of it, but they weren't as fast as the internet. Well, anyway, Morgan Wallen has been uninvited from SNL because he was seen on social media breaking protocols that are in play because of the pandemic that they are requiring for people that are on the show. He was out partying without a mask at bars and clubs in New York. And according to one of the things I read, he was mouth kissing people out in, I don't know, something to that degree. They said he was kissing. He was out kissing people. I don't know if he was mouth kissing, but I don't know, blowing kisses from 6 feet away. I doubt it. Anyway, he has apologized. He wrote a big apology. But here's my question for you in the Thunder Take. Do you think they should have maybe kept him on, but maybe just brought him in remotely from another location? Would that have, did he deserve to get canned from the show?
Well, that's a good one. I like your idea. I wouldn't even thought of that. Yeah, I would have zoomed him in or something, him and his band. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's kind of wild.
Yeah. So you maybe agree with that. Maybe there was a little bit, but I mean, this is the thing. It's early in the season, and obviously they don't want to outbreak. They don't want to be, they don't want to be the Tennessee Titans. NFL fans out there that might get that joke. But you don't want to be called. You don't want to be the Titans of the television world. So, but anyway, it's early in the season. That probably will set a good example, though. Like going forward for future guests on the show are probably going to mind their business because they know SNL's not playing. SNL don't play. Being out and about, and so we'll see. They got Jim Carrey on for at least during the elections. He's going to be doing the Biden. You have to wonder if Biden wins in November, will Jim Carrey continue on SNL as Biden, or is he just in for the election and then they're going to switch to someone else? Because Jim Carrey's I would assume is a pretty busy guy.
Oh yeah,
with other projects. So I don't know. Maybe he'll do like an Alec Baldwin kind of thing and stick around and do it for a while. I don't know, but that would be interesting to see if he hangs around and do that. I could definitely see if Biden wins. I apologize for not knowing her name offhand, but I could see the SNL alumni that came back to do Kamala Harris. I could see her.
Maya Rudolph.
Yeah, I think Maya Rudolph would be in for a while to doing that.
Oh yeah,
that role. She's been kind of coming in and out of the show over the years to do different things for them. So I think she might do it. Okay, so that's a Thunder Take. Jazz One, from the Thunder Pop Dome, has been a regular on the podcast. We've been doing the audio cast for quite some time. We did 5 seasons of our audio cast before we moved into a live stream format that we're doing now. Jazz One, you can find him at his socials. And I've got his socials, by the way. If I can find the damn thing, I'm still learning my way around this thing. We have a place where we can pull that up, and it's actually right here on the ticker. Jazz1 at Twitter, at Jazz1, Instagram at Jazz1, and YouTube, DJ Jazz1, where I know you put a lot of your poetry.
Yeah, the spoken word stuff is there.
Mm-hmm.
And some just jazzy life stuff, but also lifting like huge weights. I've got like a video over there squatting 900 pounds.
Oh, wow. I don't know if I've seen that. I gotta go check this out. Do we have a training montage on your YouTube, like a Rocky style training montage?
That would be so good.
You could probably put that you probably have the footage to make that happen, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
I might even be willing to edit that for you. Then we could just use it on the show. It's new content.
Intro.
You know, in the words of, what was it, Nardwar? You told me one time, your friend Nardwar told you that content is king.
Oh yeah. Like that really hit. He's like, when I'm shooting, it's like, shoot as good as possible, but like literally the most important thing is going to be the content. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, for those out there that are creators of that's words from the wise Nardwar from Canada. So that's the thing. This is weird for me. I probably am hamming it up or doing it a little bit overboard because I know we're on live and people see me now. I'll settle into this whole thing after we get used to doing these live streams for a little bit. But I'm a little bit different than the normal version of me when we're doing these podcasts. I think I'm worried.
You're wearing a hat.
Yeah, I'm wearing a hat. I actually got a fan for the studio because I sweat so much. I sweat so damn much in the studio because you've been in the studio with me and you know how hot it is in here. And it's the hottest room in my house. I have a cold house and a hot room in a cold house. And so we're sweating bullets in here. I actually got a mini AC, like a little portable AC for that very reason, because we'd be on camera sweating. Like I'd be like, I mean, it's already bad now. I mean, actually, hold on a second. I had a little white hair there on my beard. I'm just going to get that. I keep this on standby. This is the difference being on video now makes, is I keep these here on standby so I can darken my beard in whenever I see it coming a little bit, the gray coming a little bit in there. I told people if they progressively see this turn black, it's not like anything weird falling from the ceiling. It's coming from off my beard and this little blackening stuff I put on. So I could keep my beard. So I don't look like Santa Claus yet. I really look like Santa Claus yet. So anyway, I'm gonna get into Mandalorian season 2. And I'm also going to check out Andrew Cecil Robertson. By the way, Andrew Cecil Robertson from the UK that did these wonderful layouts for the show with the popcorn that's surrounding us and the opening that we watched. He did that intro with all the cool, all the stuff. That was Andrew. I linked up with him on the internet and he said his comment 2 a.m. for me, stayed up just to check out your stream, looking good. Hey man, thank you. Thank you. And a lot of a good part of that of this looking good is because of his work. He did some of this work for me, and he did quite a job on it. So thank you very much. Thank you so much and thank you for staying up, because I knew you're, like you said, you're on the other side, as they say, the other side of the pond, and it's a little late there right now. So I appreciate that. Anyway, getting into Mandalorian season 2, the predictions, the expectations. Oh, by the way, just for a pause here for a second for this. I'm going to show off the sound effect board a little bit. Actually, that's not the sound effect I wanted. Okay, hold on. Here it is. Where's my, okay. Okay. Just a little silly there. Okay, we are going to get into Mandalorian, which comes from, of course, Star Wars, which is a part of Disney. But Mandalorian is from Star Wars.
Star Wars. Star Wars.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Right.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Star Wars. Star Wars. Star Wars.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Exactly.
Star Wars.
Ooh, that was soothing. That kind of almost turned me on.
Star Wars. Star Wars.
That woke me up. That woke me up.
Star Wars.
Ooh, that was
Star Wars.
grunt.
Star Wars. Star Wars.
That was a little
Star Wars.
Okay, we get the point. Yeah, we're
Star Wars.
yeah. Okay.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Ooh, then that was sexy.
Star Wars. Star Wars.
Okay.
Star Wars.
Okay. People are turning this off. Okay, that's good. That's good. The eyeballs, the number on the eyeball was going down as that was happening. Okay. Not that it was that big to begin with, but it was like 2. But anyway, just to decide we do turn that off now. And anyway, getting into Mandalorian season 2, we're gonna get a this month already. How about that?
Yeah, what, 2.5 weeks? Like days what, the 7th?
October 30th, if I'm correct.
Okay, 3 weeks. 3 weeks,
3 weeks.
2 days.
Yeah, I know you'd like to shave a little bit of that off to get to it a little sooner.
Luckily, there's football in between now and then.
Yeah, to fill in the gap. So yeah, we're gonna get it really quick. It's gonna be right before Halloween, season 2. Now they did this last year. They're gonna do it, again this year. It won't be all put up on the Disney Plus app. They don't do that at Disney Plus. They don't put all the episodes up at the same time. They're gonna roll them out one at a time, which is fine. Gives you something to get excited about each week. Just like the good old days when we watched TV and we had to wait a whole week for the next episode. That's fine. I'm just excited to have new content in the middle of a pandemic, especially something so highly anticipated. Like,
may I tell you one thing they better not do is have ruined my Christmas again this year. Like last year, right before Christmas, they had that cliffhanger where you're like worrying about Baby Yoda.
Yes.
And I'm like, I'm going home back to Louisiana for Christmas. Everybody's like, Jazz, are you all right? I'm like, yeah, I'm just kind of worried about Baby Yoda.
I know it was wrong. Then
like, don't ruin my Christmas. Don't do it right before Christmas if there's any danger of Baby Yoda.
Don't do the really heavy cliffhanger where that was heavy to go right in the heart. It was pretty heavy. Damn, that was heavy. So yeah, that was tough. That was one thing. If you have any things you would ask for the new season, is not to ruin your Christmas. Again.
Exactly.
Yeah. Speaking of Baby Yoda, did you know there were a lot of like mock-up design? Like it took a while before they landed on the final design.
Was that in the docu-series they did? Like they showed like the previous versions.
Yeah.
And it was like really amazing to see the variations that went through.
Yeah, they had some of those on Vulture had put some up. Let's see, let's take a look at that. I'm going to try to do a share screen. I guess it would have been nice if I practiced that before I hit.
No, I was recently kind of surprised to find out the Knights of Ren and the feature films, like those are previous versions of Kylo Ren's mask.
Yes, that's right. It's very interesting how they. Okay, here. So you get to see kind of a little bit within the show, within the movie, what might have been for the main character.
Oh yeah.
Okay, now we're going to get a share screen here of that Baby Yoda. So actually, no, we want to see this. Okay, here, look at this. Okay. So here's some mock-ups. This is according to Vulture. They had these posted on Vulture. This is one of them here. That would have been weird if we had seen that as Baby Yoda. Not as cute. A little edgier. But look at this one. That one looks more like the original, like the actual Yoda. This one, I don't think the show would have been as successful with this one. So there's a couple of. This is more like.
Oh, the cone head.
That would have been Conehead Yoda, wouldn't it have? That's what we would have. That's like if the Coneheads and Yoda had a baby, like the lady on the Conehead family.
From France, I am.
Yeah, that would have gotten weird if we had a conehead Yoda. So yeah, so there is that. And how do I turn off this damn shared screen now? Okay, here it is. Good. I got it back. Okay, good. I'm getting used to it. It takes a little practice. Practice, like Allen Iverson said. So anyway, give me what things you expect as a Mandalorian fan, your expectations for the, other than not ruining your Christmas, expectations you have for the upcoming season.
Okay. Where were we exactly 1 year ago? Like, we had seen the trailer. We could tell it was going to look like kind of the Western motifs and stuff. But we had like certain expectations for The Mandalorian. And then, what was it, December 10th or whenever Disney Plus dropped? First episode, baby fucking Yoda, right? And it's like, bam, the whole world loves this mini Yoda-like creature. I think there's going to be something in the first episode that will be like baby Yoda size surprise. Well, not like that surprise, but lots of surprise. But yeah, it's like, you know, I know they're talking about having Ahsoka in it. I've heard
Rosario
Ezra.
Dawson.
Yeah. Like, there's a lot of names, a lot of people were expecting to be in it. But, you know, if we know about it, that's not the surprise. Like, I think there's something baby Yoda level coming our way. Like, what would be baby Yoda level now?
Yeah, well, and there's already, I mean, these things that were seemingly kind of just people piecing things together during the off season with Boba Fett, that because the actor that played Jango Fett has been cast on The Mandalorian, so people start connecting the dots, and we get Boba Fett there. Then Rosario Dawson's cast. We know she's going to be a part of the show. We see some pictures online that looks like a Jedi, that we're going to probably get a Jedi. So people start connecting the dots there as well. What would be big though? So out of already what we know, I expect we'll get Boba Fett in some capacity, whether it's going to be a cameo. And by the way, I don't think you get that actor back without doing something a little more than just a cameo.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the audience would be disappointed. They've waited years for Boba Fett. There were people talking about Boba Fett coming back for the new sequel trilogy.
Oh, yeah.
And that was a little bit of a reach to think that they were going to get Boba Fett in those movies somehow, fit a Boba Fett in those movies somehow, with all the other things they had to fit into that movie. What we did know is that somehow when Disney purchased Star Wars, they were going to have to bring Boba Fett back at some point. He was too popular of a character, whether it was in a TV show or a standalone movie, or whether he was in somebody else's movie or show. We knew they were going to have to bring him back because he was too popular of a character. And then we get this Mandalorian and we're like, okay, oh, well, they're sort of getting our Boba Fett, but it kind of in a different package, a different color package, different color armor, actually. But we got it sort of a Boba Fett-ish character, which I think was kind of actually a good way to enter back into that part of the universe.
Yeah.
Because much like they did with Marvel with Guardians of the Galaxy had the advantage of not being familiar with a lot of just everyday moviegoers. Like hardcore comic book people knew of Guardians of the Galaxy, but even some hardcore comic book people, it wouldn't have necessarily maybe been their first series that they would talk about when they would talk about their favorites. So it had this advantage to having a kind of a blank canvas for the movie-going audience. So no one had these expectations like they do with Spider-Man, Batman, these other characters similar that have Superman. Everyone has expectations for Superman. Superman is the hardest damn movie to make a new Superman movie, because everyone has these expectations for Superman. Everyone has their own idea what those expectations are. They're not always the same. And then you have to do that damn origin story again. Or if you don't do it, people get mad. If you do it, people get mad because they're like, oh, I've seen that over and over again. But The Mandalorian kind of is like the Guardians of the Galaxy. It's from that universe, but it's got a fresh kind of canvas. And that's where that was cool for people. They were able to, and the same thing to a certain degree they had with Rogue One, where there was a lot less criticism towards Rogue One than there was to the sequel trilogy, because they had a little bit more of a blank canvas because they were new characters.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, but now you can bring Boba Fett in as sort of a backdoor way. And I don't know, how much do you think they're going to use his character?
Man, I'm not sure. Like, I could see it kind of being a season-long arc, like to get that guy to come back and not like recast it.
Yeah.
Seems like there'd be a very specific reason.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Like, having enjoyed the series, the animated series, it's like I wonder if like Ezra or a Thrawn could show up. But yeah, I don't think those would be like Baby Yoda level.
That still wouldn't be Baby Yoda level.
Yeah. There's something Baby Yoda level coming this way. We don't even know what it is, but it's coming.
Yeah, so we don't know. We don't know what that is. At some point, do they go in as far? Do they reach into the well? Because this show is going to get, I'm guessing at least 6 seasons. And it may get more, but maybe they do 6, then maybe they put it on the shelf for a while and they take a break, and then maybe they come back and they do like a standalone season, kind of like they've done with some of these series that would go away for a while, like Arrested Development, where it went away for what seemed to be years, and then it got a random like one season on Netflix standalone, like out of the blue. That seems to be more and more like people aren't like where they used to be with shows like that, where once it was gone, it was kind of hard to bring it back. You could do like one reunion show or one reunion movie, but now shows could go away and they can come back and then go away and then come back. It happens all the time. And
like an off season being longer than a regular off season, a year and a half for like some series.
Yeah, so the Mandalorian is strong enough. They could go do 6 seasons in 6 years in a row. Then they might say, okay, it's time to give the show a rest, let it breathe a little bit. You could bring some of these characters back and this world back after a 2 or 3 year break. 4 years.
Well, the Mandalorian dropped December 10th.
Yeah,
was the starting day for the Disney Plus, and that dropped with the Mandalorian. So I'm like, man, this is like the end of October. Like that's like less than 10 months.
Yeah. So it's not bad at all for between the time span. And there's going to be new Star Wars coming, more Star Wars content to Disney Plus, because they have to compete. It's a streaming wars. And Star Wars is their big. Star Wars and Marvel are their 2 big for the adult audience. Those are their 2 big like things. On their list. That drives people to the Mickey Mouse Club is great. My son loves it, but it wouldn't have been enough just to bring me to the app by itself. I would have gotten him some DVDs or something, but yeah, the Star Wars, the Marvel brings the boys to the yard, as the song once said.
Oh, absolutely.
So that'll be cool. They're going to have some big surprise. Jazz One says something big on a Baby Yoda level. And they did such a job on keeping that a secret. They didn't even they didn't even make toys yet. And that's very un-Disney like to not have toys ready to go right the next day after the show.
Oh yeah.
And usually, they already put out some Mandalorian merchandise for this new season. They had the big Mandalorian day at Target several days ago, and or a few weeks back, and they had the big Monday rollout of Mandalorian stuff that they do at the stores, but the first season they didn't do any of that because they didn't want the leaks on some of these characters.
Oh yeah,
including Baby. So there were no Baby Yodas. So people that wanted a Baby Yoda, they had to wait till the show had started to air. Then they got all crazy over Baby Yoda. Then they were like, I want to get a Baby Yoda doll. There were no Baby Yoda dolls, because even if you keep those things hidden in a warehouse, somebody that's making those Baby Yodas is going to take a picture of it and they're going to put it up on Reddit, or they're going to sell the photo to TMZ. Something. And so it's gonna get out there. It's just too hard of a thing to keep contained. So they couldn't even have any made yet in circulation if they wanted to keep that a secret.
And it's like, think about like, okay, the first season lays out the world, and like how many series or like movies, the second season or the sequel, they have the money. Like I think we're gonna have something like mind blowing coming our way.
And now you're blown my mind. I'm trying to figure out what that's going to be. I desperately want to know, but I don't think I'm going to go on YouTube and watch Mike Zero because he ruined Rise of Skywalker.
That's your own damn fault, bro.
Okay, I'm going to say this real quick. I did this. I didn't do it this time. I haven't done it this time. But I watched those Mike Zero videos. I don't know what it is, if it's his beady eyes, and they kind of just hypnotize me into his world and wanting to listen to what he says. And he sits there and he starts talking and he's playing all the music and he starts telling you Star Wars predictions. And I just kind of get pulled in to Mike Zero's YouTube videos. And all the stuff he had done and said on Last Jedi, Force Awakens, almost like 90% of it, none of it happened. It was like BS. Okay. All that stuff was BS. So I was like, oh, this guy's a Jedi. People were starting really like calling him out on social media. I was like, you're still doing videos, dude. None of your stuff ever comes, none of your predictions ever happen. And it's such BS. It's such clickbait. It's such clickbait. Well, so I felt probably safe at that point to keep watching his videos just for the entertainment value. It was like fan fiction, you know? Well, I'm watching his Rise of Skywalker videos, all his predictions for Rise of Skywalker, and he got every single thing right on the Rise of Skywalker. It was almost like it was his last shot to show everyone he was going to get it finally, and he got it. I don't know if he got a better source or if he got a better like Miss Cleo, like crystal ball this time, but he had everything right. He only got one thing off on the Chewbacca thing, where he had predicted that he called the Chewbacca thing, but he said Chewbacca was dead, was going to die. And we had, so that almost happened. We thought Chewbacca was dead in the movie.
Oh yeah.
For a few seconds, and turned out, by the way, I'm sorry, spoil. If you haven't seen Rise of Skywalker by this point, I can't do anything for you. If I spoil that for you, then that Chewbacca did not die. So anyway, he got everything right. So it totally ruined the film for me. I never really felt like I got a true, because I sat there and watched the movie and I started saying, wait a minute. Yeah, he said that too. This is like, oh my God, he got all this. All the way down to the end of the film.
When The Force Awakens was coming out, I think like the day before, like I was wanting to know spoilers, and I was like, I had a moment of weakness. So I'm like, Force Awakens spoilers hashtag, right? Mm-hmm. And I start looking at it, and I think it was more like jokes, like just people making up stuff that would be in there. And I wound up like getting a lot of laughs just off that. I don't remember any of it being right, but it entertained me for a little while.
Yeah, there's some entertainment in that for sure. There is.
Well, it's like all the plots we thought of what the Rise of Skywalker could be. Man, those are like other Star Wars films up here.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's some other Star Wars movies right there that they could tell a whole completely different story. They're doing the Marvel What If like animated series.
Yeah.
It's going to be about the What If, like an anthology series where there'll be one episode where it's like, what if Iron Man lived and what would the next thing that he would have done would have been. And Robert Downey Jr. is coming back to do the voice for his Iron Man character. So that's going to be interesting because you get to see these kind of like little individual stories that are just exactly what that is like these other stories that are completely different from what actually happened in the actual universe, but it's kind of still fun to watch. There's entertainment in that, I think, for hardcore, at least for hardcore fans. There is for me. I think it's pretty interesting. So why not have a Star Wars What If show? That would be an animated Star Wars What If show. And I think of that Marvel What If is successful for Disney Plus. I think we could go ahead and write that check that could be something that they might make over at Disney. Yeah. So I'm all for it. This is different. This is really interesting for me. So live for me, a little bit more nervous because you can't edit it out. If it happens and you don't like it, it happened. People saw it. You can certainly go pull it down like afterwards. And with live, I really experienced it in its worst case scenario. Well, almost worst case scenario a few days ago. I was on IG Live and I talked about this already. I came up on Facebook and talked about this. I've done a bunch of these IG Lives. I do them now. I do 2 a week. I don't usually schedule them ahead of time. I just do them whenever I can get it in and fit it in. And they're usually about 30 minutes long. And it's usually just me with whoever joins me on the Instagram live. And I answer questions. We talk about movies. I pull up a page online and read stuff that's going on in the news. It's fun. If I have a story to tell, I'll tell a story. And I have had people that ask to want to come on with me, like split screen. And at first when that happened, I was like, what the hell is this? Like, what is this? And then I figured out, okay, people can request to come on split screen with me. And then, so you've been on with me. You came on split screen with me. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So I can bring people on. So I've had good luck. I've been actually very lucky. Nothing too crazy's happened. We had a shirtless dude in North Carolina sitting on a swing set. But then the dude put a shirt on and he showed me his Star Wars poster collection. And he really was very knowledgeable about Star Wars. And he ended up being a really good live with him.
Oh, that's awesome.
Talking. And it turned out he was a paramedic. The guy is a first responder. The guy turned out to be a real hero as well. So another time it was for the comedics. It was very funny. I got on and I had this dude and he was doing his laundry and he's like just over here with his laundry basket. And then all of a sudden he turns around and he says, "Hey, could you hold it down for a second? I'm trying to hear something over here." He's talking to somebody off. So he's telling me in the middle of my life if I could hold it down because he's trying to hear someone talking to him in the middle. So, but it was very funny. So I hung up on him. I said, "Well, then there, boom, goodbye. You want to be quiet? I'll be quiet for you. I'll turn you off." But then we've had the guy from that came on from Korea that right after the pandemic, and I interviewed him about what was going on in his country during the pandemic, and that was very interesting. And it was right after the shutdown of a lot of places. But then this week, I guess I pressed my luck. I put a dude on, and it starts off normal. He looks like a normal enough guy. He said, "So tell me a little bit more about what y'all do, what the show about." And I'm talking to him about it, and everything seems cool. But then all of a sudden, it's like he looked like he dropped his phone, but he didn't drop his phone. He just kind of lowered his phone, and I'm not sure how much of it I can say on our socials since we're live on the socials. But yeah, he was massaging the banana, let's just say. And I first of all, there's that initial shock, like, you bleep bleep, just what are you doing? So then I like I said, I gotta end this. Sorry. And we had about 10 people on, so 10 people saw that with me. So I hit end. I just ended it right there. Said, "Sorry, I gotta end this now." Boom. I ended it. And then after that, Instagram gives you a choice of whether you want to post it to your Instagram channel and it stays permanently into your Instagram channel, or whether you want to download it, save it, and then maybe save it to Instagram channel or not. But I just deleted the damn thing. I deleted the damn thing. Didn't repost. And now all our Instagram lives, I repost to the IG channel. There's only one that prior to that, like lately, that I haven't posted to the IG channel because I was testing out a new mic and it kept cutting out. So I was like a lapel mic thing and it kept cutting out. So I didn't keep that on the IG channel because it wasn't too watchable. But this one I cut it, and then I went back on live. About half the people resumed watching it, and we're all sitting there. What was that? So basically, yeah, we got a flasher on our Instagram channel this week. I'm still in a bit of shock. I'm worried there's a few people that may never ever come back on our IG lives after that. That it might have been just too much for them to handle. So anyway, that was my thing.
And no, like unsolicited dick pics. It's like, for me to do one, you'd have to sign like a what do you call it, NDA, non-disclosure agreement. It's like if one of my music projects blow up, I don't want my TMI to be on TMZ.
No. In the words of the great, not all right. No.
Oh, that's the best.
Not all right. It's not all right. So I teased that we were going to have one agree or disagree question, but then I blew I did so much work on getting this live stream ready that I didn't actually have time to prep like actual content for the show. for the Thunderpop Extra. So all my work went into the technical end of it. I threw away my agree or disagree question on the Thunder.
Oh no.
Yeah, I used it on the Thunder Take, so I didn't actually have a real. Now we get to the wrap up here, and I want to ask you agree or disagree question. I don't know if I actually have one to ask. I'll have to make something.
Oh, I got one for you.
Well, there you go. Let's do that. Let's flip it.
Agree or disagree?
Okay, from Jazz 1, agree or disagree, and I have some music from that for that somewhere. Okay, here it is from Jazz 1. One question for this Thunderpop Extra. We usually do 3, but since we're just doing a extra little mini episode, he's going to ask me one agree or disagree question on Thunderpop Extra Season 6. All right, Jazz 1.
Is Texas back?
Oh, man, that's not right. That's not right. You know what we say to that, don't you? Not all right. That's what I say to that.
No, you asked me about what I expect to see in The Mandalorian. What do you expect? Like, what are you thinking?
Well, I think you're right. I think there is going to be something big, surprise-wise, that we're going to get that's bigger than just that this character's coming back or that we're going to get Boba Fett. I think eventually, maybe not in season 2, but I think it's somewhere in the show's run. Get ready for this, and you tell me, do you agree or disagree with this? Would they dare bring in, for at least some sort of small but significant piece of scene in an episode, would they dare bring in Luke Skywalker?
See, I've been thinking that, haven't said that, and I'm kind of wondering what the timeline is because, like, I had a super, super late pass on like Clone Wars and Rebels.
Yeah.
But when I finally watched them, I think it's like in Rebels when we call it Maul finds Obi-Wan on Tatooine, right? And there's a shot where, well, after he kills him, spoiler alert, he talks about he is the chosen one. Yeah. And there's one shot where you see Luke and the Tatooine house like far in the background.
Yeah.
You know it's Luke. I'm just kind of wondering, like, I should know this, but like where in the timeline the Mandalorian is right now, and like how old would Luke be? Because like I said, I thought maybe Thrawn or Ezra. I know we're getting Ahsoka from the animated series, but I don't think that would be like mind blowing enough. No. I think maybe seeing little Luke from somehow. Maybe that's like Baby Yoda level surprise, but yeah, there's going to be something, I think, just out of the gate that they're going to blow our minds with.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think another thing too, what I think could be going on is that we're going to see a little bit of the bridging of the gap between the Empire and the First Order.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I believe we already see that. There's decay, there's apocalyptic like levels of after the war going on in that universe. There starts to be some rebuild, and we see that the effects of both in the sequel trilogy.
Oh yeah.
So where we saw the decadence of the casino city, where there was the people that profited off of the rebuild and also off the wars themselves, and then we saw the decay and the aftermath of an apocalyptic universe in other parts of that story. So I think that what we're going to see is probably some really surprise, but some dark, sinister stuff that's going on behind the scenes with the building of a new kind of empire of sorts. And I think we're already starting to see the early stages of that with the way the season ended, but also the way the season played out. So I think that's what we could be seeing is what the big surprise. We'll probably get more information on why they want the child so bad.
Oh yeah, why it Kaminoans? Yeah,
maybe there's more to that than we realize. His connections to some certain things. So I think that to me could be where in season 2, where the big surprise is. I think you bring Luke Skywalker in some capacity back, even if it's a nod to Luke. in future seasons. I don't think they're going to roll that out. They're ready to roll that out in season 2 because they already got a lot that that we're expecting. Also, jetpack. It's going to be season 2 is going to be the big year for the jetpack.
I want
As we've
one.
seen it, we saw that in the trailer. He wanted that jetpack, so I think the Mandalorian's finally going to get him a jetpack in season 2. That again, like you said, that's not enough to be a big enough surprise. But how cool would it be to see him but the assumption is him and Boba Fett are going to be arch nemesis. But is it a chance that maybe they're not arch nemesis? Maybe they're sort of they tolerate each other.
Well, I mean, it's interesting that Boba Fett is like not actually Mandalorian.
Yeah,
and then Din is adopted into Mandalorians.
Yeah,
it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, so it's interesting stuff. But I will say this.
Wait.
Oh, mhm.
Let's start a poll on Twitter or something like, what do y'all think is going to be like the Baby Yoda of season 2?
Yeah, we've got that I keep forgetting we have that capability to do that sort of thing. We have a few people that I can. Mr. Tester said, "Hello, I have a tablet next to me." Okay, we talked to him earlier. He sent us some happy faces. We had Andrew Cecil Robertson from the UK across the pond, a good friend of our Instagram channel, but also the podcast, who's been on our podcast. Maureen Joseph from Brooklyn, New York, says, "Hey, Steve." She's on Facebook tonight. And then who's this person?
Oh,
Does that look familiar?
Yo, is she talking to you or me?
Yeah, good question. We'll ask her that. If she's still, I don't know if she wants me to reveal her identity, but my wife there. But you can't see. But my son is hidden by the Facebook logo. He's in that picture also. That was him when he was like less than 3 months old. That's why his head's so small and being covered up by a Facebook logo. So
I know everybody's kid is the cutest kid in the world, but man, you got a hella cute kid.
Oh man, thank you. Let's see here, and here it is, a picture of him when he was 2 years old. Off to the side there. The Conehead has a little worried when he was 2, but it worked itself out. He grew some hair, and it kind of looks good now, but we were a little concerned for a while. We thought he was going to be a Conehead Yoda. That's for sure. That's in the words of once again, not all right. Yeah. We have. I want to play with her before we get off. I want to play with the sound effects a little more. I don't know what. Let me see what I've got loaded. Let me see what I got loaded in here. We already heard some of the other stuff that we played earlier. This has kind of been 2020. This is the 2020 kind of jingle.
The shit is getting real. Oh yes, things getting serious.
Yeah. It is getting real. Okay, we get it.
Bro, 2020, I'm still at a net gain. LSU's championship, Mandalorian returns.
Okay.
It's been a hard year chasing work, financial stuff, isolation, but LSU won the greatest championship ever, and Baby Yoda comes back on the 30th.
Okay, I'll go with at least some of that. There's some good there. Some people blame you all for the whole thing. How 2020 after LSU winning the championship, a lot of people from LSU were like, "I don't care what happens for the rest of the year, as long as we win the championship this year. Anything can happen after that."
Go Tigers!
So exactly what happened. Anything and everything happened after that. That's exactly what happened. Well, This has been okay. Oh, anybody that's still on with this, I think I still see a few eyeballs or a couple on. If you want to chime in on what you think is going to happen in Mandalorian season 2 or expectations you have for Mandalorian season 2, what you think that wild surprise is going to be that Jazz has been talking about on this TP Extra. What do you think that wild surprise will be in Mandalorian season 2? That's going to be kind of cool to see what will happen. So we'll see. Excuse me. So everything is just like you have to be like I used to be able to like sit here and scratch myself when there was no camera on us. I could scratch myself. I could belch. I could fart. I could get up and adjust my crotch area. But if I do that now, then I'm on the Instagram Live. That's what it turns into is an Instagram Live. So anyway, by the way, does Instagram, and not to throw any social media platforms under the bus, there's a little bit of a spam problem at Instagram. And I love Instagram. Instagram is a great social media platform. It's opened up a lot of new opportunities for creators out there because of the way the platform is set up. It's so user friendly. It has so many different. It started off as a photography app, but there's a lot of like stuff that spam on that's hitting that. It's been getting very MySpace-ish lately. Like in the later days.
Yeah.
You get the spam?
Oh yeah.
Also, what's the deal with people in the cash apps thing? Like send me $100, I'll turn it into $1,000. Have you seen this stuff on Instagram?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you got to check out these apps. These people, not apps, but these Instagram accounts. These people that do the I'll flip your $100 and turn it into 1,000, or then after you start, and they're so convincing. Like they make videos where people are counting their money and say, "Look, I made all this money," and so they go through a lot of trouble to pull off the scam. And there were a lot of people trying to pull off the scam. But anyway, I'm not hating on Instagram. I love Instagram. I do get a lot of spam on there, but Instagram is still my favorite of the social media platforms. And they're all good. It's like, I think you said this one time, they all have their own little thing that is their thing, that their strength and their what they star in. So I enjoy Instagram. Everyone has also had their wave of spam. I mean, Twitter has a period where they were dealing with seemed like a lot of spam problems on Twitter, and I was getting a lot of spam email on Twitter. Facebook, I think, has even had that little bit of a spam problem at one time. MySpace, though, that they never figured MySpace, I don't think ever really figured out their spam problem and got it right. And I think that was one of the beginning of their beginning of their undoing. And what finally kind of did them in. So it is important for them to figure it out and tackle it. So anyway, I guess everyone's watched the debate because no one chimed in on your question about the, and our friend from England might have fell asleep because it was pretty late. It's almost 3
Post
o'clock.
that to the Twitter. Like, I want to know what people's opinion is. Like, somebody might be right.
Well, we're on right now on YouTube and Facebook. And we're on 2 different places in Facebook. Now we do have the ability to do Twitter, but there's 2 different levels of this software program that we use. There's a basic and then there's a pro, and we're on there's the free version, the basic version, and the pro version. At this moment, because we're trying it out, I'm doing the basic version, and that allows for 3 places to stream. If you move to the pro version, it's StreamYard, by the way. That's the company that we use for our live stream. If you move up to the pro level, you can stream on, I think, like 10 different places. So then at that point, then you can add. So I had to pick and choose. I wanted to go into, I have a little more of an audience on Facebook than I do on Twitter. So I decided to do Facebook tonight, but I'm on 2 different places on Facebook. I'm on.
Yeah, toss that question out on Facebook. I'm just talking about a post, that in Twitter.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know what other people's opinion is. Like,
and also,
I firmly believe there's something big coming this way with that show.
Well, and people will watch this later because it'll stay up on the socials. So people that watch it later, they can also comment. So yeah, we'll see what we'll get back to you the audience, the viewing and listening audience now of Thunder Pop. what the commenters said about that. So, man, this is just fun. I don't even want to get off. This is so much fun being on.
Yeah, this has been great, man. I mean, I missed the dome, but doing the dome from home, I'm not mad.
Hey, well, and this is probably boring for some people, but when we get back to being able to do like shows where we're like 2 inches away from each other, that's a little bit personal, actually. 2 inches away from each other. That's Instagram. That's Instagram Live. No, we're a table across. We're just across the table from each other. Well, I figure if we have to do remote, let's make the most of it. So that's why we're really dolling this up a little bit with the live stream and doing this. And this is turning out. So you got to turn any negatives into a positive that you can. And this is the positive. I've been wanting to turn this into a full-blown live stream with video for a long time, and I was held back by just time and energy to do it. But the pandemic gave me a lot more time, and also it gave me a lot more motivation to do this live stream and get this going. So we got this going. But when we get back in the studio, we'll still have this, but we'll be able to do multicam.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we can do multicam, and I'll be able to switch. And I've got 2 cameras going tonight, where we can go back and forth like that, like that. So, but I've got both cameras on me right now. But they're different angles.
One safe prediction for The Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
Our favorite sitcom guy will be in there.
Oh, Paul Sung Lee.
Yeah.
From Kim's Convenience.
Yeah, I know. I think he was friends with Deborah Chow or something. And
yeah.
I heard a podcast of him talking about being on the set.
Mm-hmm.
And they were very impressed that he does a lot of cosplaying and stuff. So I would not be surprised if he has a cameo. I mean, I would say that's the safest money would be Appa in The Mandalorian.
Of course, we're talking about Paul Sung Lee, our good buddy, who's follows us on Instagram, and I've not to name drop, but we both you've met him personally. South by Southwest, and they're back. By the way, they're back to work for fans of Kim's Convenience on Netflix, and also on in Canada it would be on. Actually, it's Netflix in the U.S., but in Canada it would be on the network.
Yeah, CBC, I think.
CBC. Yeah. They're back to work. They had a break during the pandemic, and they went back to filming. That's great news. They're back to filming. I guess would be on their 4th season or 5th season.
Yeah, 4th or 5th. Like it's really impressive. For those who don't know, Kim's Convenience, sitcom I stumbled across a few years ago, and has like steadily become like my favorite sitcom ever. It's convenience store run by a Korean family set in Toronto. It's incredible. But yeah, I've become big fans of the actors. Simu, who plays one of the characters, is going to have his own Marvel movie eventually. Yeah, but yeah, I'm pumped. Yeah, I think that's the safest money that Paul will have a cameo. And like, I think a cameo to the point, not in a mask, not in a helmet, but I think you'll see his face somewhere.
Yeah. And by the way, speaking of the Marvel universe, we're going to be back with a full episode within the next week and a half. We're going to do some more TP extras between there and there, and
a reaction show to The Mandalorian.
Reaction shows to The Mandalorian, which if I could do a watch party, I'm even going to try to pull that off. I don't know how that works. I've never done a watch party. I've peeked in on other people doing them, but I would like to do a watch party. If anybody wants to educate and do me a tutorial online about doing watch parties, but I'm going to figure it out and see what I can get away with legally, what you can do in a watch party and show in a watch party. But that would be fun too. But yeah, we'll have a reaction to Mandalorian season 2, like of the first episodes. And then when the full season wraps up, we'll do a whole reaction of the whole thing. But we'll do probably on our first full episode, we're going to do all the things we missed on the podcast during the break. But one of the things was bad news in the MCU, in the Marvel universe, and in the world itself, was the loss of Chadwick Boseman, the actor that played Black Panther for multiple movies. He played of course, the one standalone Black Panther movie, which was a huge was a movie of bigger than just being a superhero and being a Marvel movie. It was grander than that. It was bigger than that for many obvious reasons.
Well, I remember seeing like photos of kids having like funerals for Chad.
Yeah.
You know, like with their superhero figures and stuff. And I was like, you know, it wasn't like just one. It was just like a lot of kids had the same feeling, you know. It definitely makes you understand why representation matters.
Yeah, it does matter. That showed how much it meant to some of those kids that were doing those dedications online. Grown kids and kids that were doing tributes to them. Cosplayers, you know, there's adults that are cosplayers that just get the full suit and then they become the action figure themselves rather than just playing with the toys and the action figures for the but there were some good tributes for them on TikTok. By the way, we're on TikTok now. So check out Thunderpop.
Oh, do I have to dance?
Yeah, you will have we do have to dance if you go on the TikTok. It is a requirement of the platform. I think we have our socials here. Look at that. I'm hiding you, Jazz, for a second. Check us out at these places. And Jazz, wait a minute. There he is. He was kind of peeking around the corner there. But check us out. We're on YouTube, Thunderpop TV. We're at Twitter at Thunderpop TV. Facebook. Hey, what a surprise. Thunderpop TV. And Jazz, I peek at you while you're looking at our socials. He might peek at you like this behind the social media page. TikTok though is also Thunderpop TV, and Insta is at Thunderpop TV. Twitch is not on here, but we're also now going to be on Twitch. But Twitch is believe it or not, it's not Thunderpop TV. It's actually Thunderpop Live. It's one that we're not going to be. There he is. I'm so glad you're back. I'm so glad to have you back on here. And I somehow changed again. I'm learning my way around the layouts. It's better now. I'm getting better with it. But there, okay. Popcorn for everybody. Everybody gets buttery popcorn on this live stream. Man,
Thunderpop in association with D's Nuts Productions. Got 'em.
Oh boy, there you go. Some more of our sound effects. And I think we're about to close this thing out with a little. I got to stop it so we don't get flagged like on Facebook for using copyrighted music. You know, that's supposed to be a royalty-free polka song. It's listed under royalty-free, silly, funny polka songs. But I've heard they play it at German weddings. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a popular tune at German weddings. Man, well, we're about to close this thing out. Everybody, as we say, Jazz One, I want to thank you for joining me.
Man, it's always a pleasure, man. The dome is my second home.
Absolutely. I can't wait till I can have you back. We can get back in here and do these and like with you here again with me in the studio. But in the meantime, I send you an air hug. There. Everyone, as we always said in our podcast, we've said in our podcast for 5 seasons. Everyone have a good day, hour, second, millisecond. Peace. What do I do now? How do I close this thing out?
It's not living its best life.
Thunderpop is a Hit the Bricks production.